Hello ladies and gentlemen, Meoni here of AceGamesTV, and today I'm back on Final Fantasy XIV A Realm Reborn to bring you another guide. This time we're facing against the legendary summon or primal in this game, known as Ifrit. This is a level 20 quest and is part of the main storyline, which you must queue into the duty finder to be able to do. Once you're in here, this is of course a level 20 quest, and as such the boss is reflective of that particular level, so don't expect absolute miracles and the hardest thing since sliced bread. However, there are a few things that you will need to know how to do to be able to beat this encounter smoothly. So without further ado, let's go through those abilities and show them off. So the first thing you'll notice is that we're fighting Ifrit in this big circular arena here made of fire. The boundaries of this arena do not burn you, contrary to the belief that fire does burn you. It doesn't here, so it's safe to stand there. There's a few abilities you need to be aware of. If you're stood in front of a boss, you're going to get cleaved, as well as a big conal fire ability, so for this reason your tank needs to face the boss away from the rest of the party at all times, or indeed you need to be behind the boss. It's quite a far-reaching cleave as well, so you don't want to be anywhere near that. Another ability is that there'll be these fire patches. The ground will glow fiery red. You have about 4 seconds to move out of this before the patch explodes. If you are stood in this patch at the time of explosion, you will take about 3/4 of your HP bar from full down to about 1/4 of your HP remaining. So of course if you've just got hit by a cleave and then stood in one of these instead of moving instantly, you're probably going to be dead at this stage, regardless of what healer you have or what healer is scaled down to level 20. So for this reason you want to be moving as quickly as possible and moving and reacting as fast as you see this patch spawn under your feet. Another move is like a big bubble will spawn and it will knock you back. This does a really small amount of damage, but the knockback can be quite bloody annoying, especially for healers. Say for instance your healer needs to heal the tank and he's let the tank go quite low. If this interrupts your cast, you could have some significant problems with obviously healing the tank in time before he takes the next hit. For this reason alone, it's best to keep the whole party as high as is physically possible. Use your mana bar, that's what it's for. You shouldn't have many mana problems later on in the fight. Anyway, this fight is fairly short and it only relies on people's movement and switching targets. Anyway, so regardless of this, the next mechanic is this big nail. This is Ifrit's sort of like special ability. So he will summon this nail, which is an ad, and you have to kill this ad as soon as possible. So you want to be focusing down this ad. Every DPS, including maybe your healer if your DPS is low, go on this nail and nuke it down. If you fail to kill the nail before Ifrit decides it's time, the nail will disappear instead, and he will use Hellfire, which you may remember from the previous games as being a one-shot mechanic that will kill you. If you do kill the nail before he casts this ability, then you'll be fine, absolutely fine, and he will just do like 1% of damage. Now that brings into phase 2 if you have survived the nail phase. This is pretty much your movement phase, so there will be circles that will be either in the center of a room or all the way around this, the boundaries of the room. And of course, if they're around the boundaries of the room, you want to move inwards. If they're around the middle of the room, you want to move outwards. A little bit similar to maybe some MMO game encounters you may have seen before. This is the same sort of idea. If you do stand in these circles, after about 3 to 4 seconds they will explode like the previous ones, only these do quite significantly more damage, and of course we're looking at 75% of your HP here, so obviously you want to try and move as fast as possible. Apart from that, it's not much more than a bit of a DPS race. So of course this is the last phase, so there's no real DPS rush. It's more of a teaching of letting you realize that you have to keep moving from this. Every now and again he will do his final judgment ability, only it will do significantly less damage because of you killing that nail earlier on in the fight, so it shouldn't pose too much of a threat. Apart from that, use your limit break, your single target limit break from any of your melee, just to take this guy down and then be rewarded with an amazing cutscene. I won't spoil the rest of the storyline for you, so I will cut here. But thank you very much for watching this video. Hopefully this has been of some use to people who still don't know what they're doing halfway through this fight. It's a bit of a beginner's guide to the following fights to come in the game. If you've enjoyed this video, leave a like below and a comment of what you would like to see next. My name is Meoni, thanks for watching my video, and I will see you next time.